So the way that direct mail kind of used to go is that direct mail, you would send out a direct mail piece, you'd have a coupon on it, that customer would clip the coupon, they'd turn it in, they would send it to a clearinghouse that would count the coupons. A month later, they would get the analytics back on that direct mail piece on how it performed, right? So that's what it used to be. Kind of where it is now and what people know about is kind of, that was the second phase of things, kind of when you started to add pearls. Why did pearls come about? Pearls came about because it was the direct mail industry's answer to digital marketing companies, because businesses love the real-time feedback loop that you got from a digital ad. You send a digital ad out, those impressions happen, those conversions happen, you can make adjustments. Well, with direct mail, there wasn't that mechanism. So now, at least when you send that piece of mail out, you can put a pearl on it, a personalized URL. You can drive people into a digital environment, and now you had that visibility in the direct mail channel, that real-time feedback loop, so you could understand much earlier how the campaign was performing or not performing. It gave you much better metrics. It also gave you another important thing. It gave you data that you weren't getting otherwise, right? Those coupons were getting turned in when they got clipped. They didn't know who that was that turned it in. They didn't know it was Shannon. Now all of a sudden you had a mechanism to identify that person, maybe barter a little bit and say, hey, it's basically it's kind of an exchange of value, right? You want somebody's information and you have something of value to give to them, right? So if that offer is valuable enough for them to give you their information, that's kind of like the handshake. That's the meet and greet. That's when you actually meet a customer. Now you have just entered into a relationship, and now you have that customer. They thought enough of your offer to step out and kind of say, I'm ready to meet you now. And so that's kind of the way direct mail went. Pearls happened. Then all of a sudden, call tracking numbers came back into place. So now there was the ability to put a phone number on it and track how many phone calls came in from that specific call tracking number. So that was kind of the next evolution. And then SMS became a really hot thing, right? The ability to put a short code or a long code, text a keyword to that, and now you get this reply. People love SMS. We call it's not even a channel a lot of times. It's an obsession people have. This is the way the world communicates, especially the younger generation. So you have this tactic to take an old channel like direct mail, take a new channel like text messaging, integrate it into those two, and now we're marrying the new world with the old world, right? So that was kind of the next evolution, these tactics that went on top of the direct mail to make it perform better. There are pearls, there's inbound SMS, there's call tracking and IVR services. We even have a Facebook Messenger pearl where we can tie your Facebook account, give your Messenger pearl, unique ID, put it in a QR code on a direct mail piece. Customer can literally open their camera, point it at it, and they're talking to somebody one-to-one on Facebook Messenger from a direct mail piece, right? So it's really thinking about all of the ways that people are operating, the platforms they're on, how they're moving and shaking, and how they're doing business in the places that they're interacting with. And you got to go there, right? So that's what's kind of happened with these tactics. So as you can see, we call it weaponizing your direct mail. When you layer these things on top of them and you're able to tell someone, Shannon, if you do this, text this, I'm going to give you this, right? So you now can take a call to action. And at that point, when they're looking at that direct mail piece, right, we've talked about it, direct mail has a 90% open rate, right? And if you have the right packaging, you can guarantee 100% of your mail is going to be seen. That call to action right there, at that point, instead of it just being a coupon that Shannon can say, oh yeah, I'll clip this and maybe do something. No, you're saying right now, you go do this, you're going to get this. Now people are going to, it's the way people work. They do what you tell them to do. So if you give them instructions, and the instructions make sense and they think it's valuable, that's what they're going to do. It's the way marketing works. It's the art of persuasion. So that's why it's so important, not using all of these tactics on every direct mail piece, but using these tactics in the appropriate place for the appropriate audience. That was kind of the next evolution of things. Now this new evolution is combining that direct mail audience and combining other channels such as email. In our case, we append emails. You only have a postal list maybe. We can append emails. You can use that audience as a custom audience in digital channels on Facebook. You can use that audience to send out SMSs. So now you've taken that direct mail campaign And now we're at this new way of kind of doing things, this last layer of kind of technology. And so when you look at all the components of a direct mail, it's a physical piece of mail. We know based on the stats that people think it's valuable. So we know the consumers want to get direct mail. It's all about having the right strategy. And up until now, basically direct mail's always been, you have a list, you send out a bulk bunch of mail. The real kind of bleeding edge of how big businesses, small businesses are using mail is they're using it in a specific way. And not every customer is getting direct mail, but you can set triggers up within your system, and we can print as many as millions of pieces of mail or as much as one piece of mail for a customer. So basically integrating that into your workflow and strategically, it might only make sense for you to send 150 pieces of mail out a month, but you know what? Those 150 pieces of mail are going to produce a great return. So it's really making direct mail available and usable in a lot of different ways within the marketing stack is where we are right now. And that's what the big push is going forward.
Yeah, I like how a couple of things that you touched on that I think are really innovative that people don't think about with direct mail. One was you had mentioned the QR code, but you had mentioned as far as Facebook. Now, the QR code we know has made huge waves since the whole pandemic because now it's a lot easier. That's how menus are made. People understand how just to open up the camera and get to it. So the access to the Pearl, they don't have to type in a long URL that has unique with their name or anything like weird numbers or anything on it. Now it's just as easy as just opening up their camera. They're directly into getting the offer and stuff like that. So I think that has actually improved a lot of our marketing response that we're seeing as putting on the QR codes. The other thing that you had mentioned is almost retargeting. So using direct mail as a retargeting option, especially when you know it's going to have a high response rate. I think that's really something that's very cutting edge that people don't think about. I think right now, everybody still almost like falls asleep when you mention direct mail because they think of direct mail as a static piece of paper that's just delivered, as almost a branding kind of technique, and it's really not. The way that we use direct mail is 100% direct response. We're looking for engagement at the point of touch.
That's right. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. So yeah, the use cases in people's eyes being open to all these other ways to use it and getting out of the traditional mindset of, oh, I send this out to a bunch of people. I hope they come in. I'll look for the coupons. I kind of get a feel for it. No, that's the old way of doing things. It really, when you look at direct mail and you start to look at the surrounding channels and really understanding the data and how to use it in different scenarios, listen, it should be a part of everybody's marketing stack moving forward. And it's far from being dead. We did that podcast, Direct Mail's Not Dead. It's far from dead. And in fact, these use cases are bringing it more into the forefront than ever before.
73% of people say that they prefer direct mail as an advertising method because think about it. You see all of these digital ads. You're bombarded with things 24/7. So whenever you do or you're touching that piece of mail, it's more personal to you. It's a different kind of experience.
That's right.
So,
yeah, so the people want it. What else do you need? 73%, that says it all right there. It's not about if you should be doing it. It's really just how should you implement it into your business.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think too, like the knowledge of what direct mail does is a little bit scary, but then also how to get started. I think that cripples some people. Like we talk about this all the time. People don't start their business because they know how to market. They just don't. I mean, they don't know how to do any advertising. They don't understand. They don't have a designer on team. They don't know how to write content. So that's part of one of the things that we're talking about solving with all these other things. It's not just direct mail as a solution, but creating something that makes it easy for just the standard business to be able to get involved and have direct mail as an option.
Yeah. Listen, jump in, reach out to us in the comments, jump in, and we can help with any of this stuff. Any questions that you have, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we can help guide your step because we're kind of involved in the entire, you have to be involved in the entire process. We can help with data, the messaging, how do we lay out the channels, all the analytics, that's what we do. So if you need any help, you need advice, you just need some tips because you're getting ready to do something, even if it's not with us, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'd love to give you the time to help you out.